Hello, this is David Alba-Lopez, and I'm going to be doing a demo of my application for iOS. Um, First off, I want to give a brief overview of what my app is supposed to do. So my app is designed to be used for the Rose-Hulman Improv Club, and I can show you here my storyboard. This is kind of how my app is laid out. So it's a navigation controller that connects to a bunch of different screens. Um, with this home screen here serving as like the central hub for them all. So that's kind of the structure that you'll see as I walk you through my app. But so here we have the app running on two devices, so we can see how the database works between them. So this app is designed to be used to help kind of make the bookkeeping easier for the improv club. Since we had to kind of cut back on some features, I didn't get to quite do everything that I was like originally hoping to do. Mostly with data and statistics and presentation. But I tried my best to get as much of the functionality as I thought I realistically could within the time frame we had. So looking at this here, I have two phones pulled up. So this is what the login screen looks like. So we can sign in with Rose Fire. That's since this is for Rose-Hulman students, didn't really see the need to use anything besides Rose Fire. So give me a sec. I'm gonna put in my password. All right, now I'm back. So I put in my password, so I should be able to sign in. And there we go. So now this is the home screen. We have a welcome message telling you kind of what's going on, and then here at the bottom we have the events coming up. So you can click into the events and see some of the information about them. So say event name 9/8, so that'll probably be the first meeting of next year. And then you can see the last person who modified it by their Rose ID, and then kind of a description of the event. And see the other one. So this would have been, a couple days ago, would have been the last meeting of the quarter. Of course, you can change the name. So last meeting. We could change it, and we could see it change there too. It doesn't quite fit large names because of how I laid it out. So just say maybe like goodbye. And then last meeting of quarter. So we can see that it updates here too. So that's what the events do. And then you can also additionally add an entirely new event. So maybe we could say meeting 9/10, and the description might be first after dark, which is improv where you're allowed to say kind of a bit more about speak more freely, say things that you might not necessarily do in a performance are okay after dark. Of course, we try to keep it as welcoming as possible. But sometimes you just want to say a bad word every now and then. So you can see the event was added there. So a lot of the functionality comes from this menu here. So we have home, attendance, meeting records, games list, statistics, suggestions, and sign out. So if we go to home, we can see that we're obviously in the home menu, so it won't really do us anything. Attendance. So here you can add the meeting date. So let's say we want to do a meeting for the 27th of May. So you'd enter the format there, and then you'd enter the name of the member who attended the meeting. So in my case, I'll say David. So now I'll hit add member, and we'll see a toast. Kind of this notification at the bottom. It said created member, created the meeting and added the member, and then it wipes away the member field here. So what this is useful for is here in meeting records. In meeting records, we can take a look at all the meetings that we've made. So you can see the one I just added there. So why don't I try adding a different meeting? It's actually supposed to have all 4 digits of the date. Let's try this, and let's add a member named Isaac. So add member, member's added. If you try and submit something blank, It'll remind you to add a name, won't do anything. Or if you try and add Isaac to a meeting he's already been to, it'll tell you this member's already been recorded. So toasts are primarily been used in Android development, but I liked the idea of including it in my app, and so that's I use an external API that I found. It kind of allows you to make toasts in Swift. So that's kind of the outside of class functionality that I tried to implement into my app. So if we go here to meeting records, we can see that you are allowed to try to delete meetings, or you can click into a meeting. So let's say click into this one. So it'll tell you which members you counted as being present, and you can also write a list of games. So we like to keep track of the games that we play at each meeting. So maybe I can add the 2-line here. Another game we call Switch, and maybe one called let's see, catchphrase. And so you can click into these. They don't really do anything, but they allow you to like keep a list of the games played at the meeting. Additionally, you can rename the meeting, so you can see the name is up there. So if we want to put this back in line with the format it's supposed to be in, rename, and you can see that it updated on both screens. And then additionally, you could choose to delete meetings. Let's say we wanted to delete this one. So go ahead, delete it, and then that's good. Stop deleting. And then if we want, we can go to games list, and this is just kind of like a database of games, so you can add games into the description. So maybe one like add game, we'll call one maybe like Switch. The description of the game, players must speak and be ready to have to switch the last line said at any given moment. Not the best description of the game, but basically, you know, they say a line and you have a switcher that can tell them to switch what they just said. So, so that's switch. So now you can go back and edit it, and delete the game. Let's say I didn't like that. So you can delete it there, stop deleting. So yeah, so that's more kind of like a database functionality. So sometimes, you know, a member might want to like read up the rules on a game and how they play it, kind of give them more confidence about what they're doing. So here are player stats. I wanted to include more detailed player stats, but this is probably one of the things that suffered the most from lack of time. But what I'm doing here is I'm going through meetings that I create in the attendance, and let's see. Let's say there's a meeting happening 5/31/2020, and let's say that David's going to that meeting. So here it kind of goes through all the meetings and like scans for instances of a player's name, and then kind of tallies up how many meetings they've been to based on that. So if I create like a new meeting, new date, add me to it, so you can see that my meetings attended increased further by 1. So that's kind of like you know, keeping track of how often members are going to meetings. Originally, I wanted to do something a bit more involved, but that's kind of the sacrifice I had to make. And then finally, suggestions kind of work similarly to other things. You can just suggest an idea. So play earlier, maybe can we do a public show on campus, something that we're trying to do. So we can add the suggestion. If your suggestion is long, you can click into it and get a more detailed view. Otherwise, it'll just kind of show everything that you can see in the title. And then you can delete suggestions as you need, as you know, maybe we go through them at the start of a meeting. Go through them at the start of a meeting, address them, and then you can delete them because they've been addressed. But yeah, that's kind of the functionality of the app. You can also sign out from here. I'll take you back to this screen. But yeah, basically it's a bookkeeping app that can track which members have been to meetings, how many meetings a member has been to, what games were played at meetings, and they can offer suggestions and things like that. So I was mostly able to accomplish the big things that I wanted. And you can see that like a lot of my app is very similar to other parts of itself. So that was kind of just one of the concessions I had to make, was to create a design that is like easily reusable between different screens, so that I don't spend forever trying to get everything. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, and I hope you enjoyed.